Hello students, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to give you 10 latest defense updates. Number 1, RFI issued for long range smart BVLOS loitering munitions. The IAF is set to release a request for information inviting private industry partners to design and develop advanced ground launched beyond visual line of sight, that is BVLOS loitering munition. These smart electro-optical guided systems with a range of 500 to 1000 kilometers are poised to redefine India's tactical strike capabilities. Featuring a 50 kg explosive warhead and the ability to loiter for over 6 hours, these munitions promises enhanced precision, flexibility and autonomy, key attributes for modern warfare. This move, aligned with India's Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, underscores the IAF's intent to leverage indigenous innovation to meet evolving security challenges. Next, CAG slams HAL for RUAV 200 program failures. The Controller and Auditor General of India, that is CAG, has delivered a scathing critique of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited over its rotary unmanned aerial vehicle, that is RUAV 200 program, highlighting significant lapses in planning and execution that led to financial losses and missed opportunities in the defense market. The CAG's recent report on Project 3, that is Rotary UAV development, underscores HAL's failure to conduct a detailed market survey or demand assessment before initiating the project, resulting in a product that failed to meet operational requirements and secured defense contracts. With an impaired cost of 9.54 crore and no lessons learned to guide future endeavors, the RUAV 200 program serves as a cautionary tale for HAL's ambition in the unmanned aerial vehicle sector. Next, Tejas Mk2 rollout and first flight timeline clarified. Recent statements attributed to DRDO chief regarding the light combat aircraft Tejas Mk2 first flight have sparked confusion, with some reports suggesting an imminent maiden flight. However, authoritative sources, including AFI, have clarified the timeline, dispelling misconceptions and reaffirming the program's steady progress. The Tejas Mk2, a cornerstone of India's indigenous defense aviation, is on track for a prototype rollout by late October or early November 2025, with its first flight expected in late February or March 2026. Next, Bangladesh proactive claims on India's northeast. In a recurring pattern that has raised eyebrows in India, Bangladeshi politicians and public figures have once again been vocal about their perceived ability to annex India's northeastern seven sisters, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. These proactive statements, often amplified by student leaders and social media influencers in Bangladesh, have been interpreted as a deliberate attempt to provoke India. However, defense analyst Ranesh Ranjan, speaking to IDRW, has dismissed these claims as a dump move by an illegal government in Bangladesh, suggesting that India should ignore the rhetoric as a desperate bid to cling to power. Next, why India could not export the Sukhoi Su-30 Mki. The Sukhoi Su-30 Mki, a twin-engine multi-role fighter jet, stands as a testament to Russian aeronautical engineering and has found a prominent place in air forces worldwide. While Russia has successfully exported variants like the Su-30SM to nations such as Algeria, Kazakhstan, and Armenia, India, despite being a key operator and co-producer of the Su-30 MKI, has struggled to replicate this success on the export market. The reasons behind this disparity lie in a mix of contractual limitations, technological dependencies, strategic priorities, and market dynamics. The Su-30 MKI is a heavily customized version of the Su-30 platform tailored specially for the Indian Air Force by Russia Sukhoi Design Bureau and produced under license by HAL. Introduced in 2002, it boasts advanced features like thrust vectoring engines, the BARS radar, and an array of Western, Israeli, and Indian avionics, making it one of the most capable fourth-generation fighters in India's arsenal. Next, time to power India's private sector. India's quest for self-reliance in aerospace propulsion has long been symbolized by the Kaveri engine, a project initiated by the Gas Turbine Research Establishment under the DRDO to power indigenous fighter jets like the Tejas light combat aircraft. Despite decades of efforts, the Kaveri has yet to meet the performance requirements for operational use, leaving programs like the Tejas Mk1A reliant on foreign engines. Currently, the GEF 404 as a India's private sector emerges as a potent force in defense manufacturing. A pressing question arises: is it time to transfer the Kaveri's technology of transfer to a serious private players to not only fix the engine for the Tejas Mk1A but also develop larger variants emulating the success of global giants like GE and Safran, backed by the respective governments? Next, CAG feels procurement of C-103 unsuitable material for hypersonic project. In a scathing report, the Controller and Auditor General of India has exposed a significant lapse by the DRDL, a key arm of the DRDO, in its procurement of 1,329 kg of C-103 material worth 4.83 crore for the Hypersonic Technology Development Vehicle, that is HSTDV project. The material, known to be incapable of withstanding the extreme temperatures generated in a scramjet engine, was deemed unwarranted and wasteful, highlighting critical flaws in DRDL's planning and execution of a high-stakes defense technology program. Next, Advanced Landing Gear Test Facility. A state-of-the-art landing gear drop test facility is commissioned at Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, Thiruvananthapuram, towards the testing and qualification of the deployable landing gear system for ISRO's winged body reusable launch vehicle, Pushpak. ISRO is developing Pushpak with a deployable landing gear towards the RLV orbital re-entry experiment, wherein the Pushpak vehicle will be launched to orbit in an ascent vehicle. Subsequently, after a few orbits, Pushpak will re-enter the atmosphere and land on a runway using the deployable landing gear system. Next, Indo-China. Next, Army facing shortage of personnel. The Indian Army is a force of 12,48,000. At present, there is a shortage of more than 1 lakh soldiers in this army. At a time when the army is on alert on the line of control with Pakistan, more than 50,000 soldiers are continuously deployed on the China border line of control in eastern Ladakh for the last 5 years. There is no plan to reduce the number of soldiers from here. Last year, when terrorist incidents increased in Jammu, 15,000 additional soldiers were deployed there. The army, which is facing a shortage of 1 lakh soldiers, is fulfilling its need by shifting soldiers from one place to another, the Defense Ministry told the Standing Committee of Parliament. Next. China tells airlines to suspend Boeing jet deliveries. China has told its airlines to stop taking deliveries of jets from American aviation giant Boeing, a report said Tuesday, as a trade war between Beijing and the United States deepens. Since President Donald Trump took office in January, the world's two biggest economies have been locked in a tit-for-tat tariff war, with the US now charging levies of up to 145% on imports from China. Thank you.